Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for taking the time to sit down and welcome to the Gemini Capital YouTube channel.
Hi, Himali. Good afternoon. Great to meet you. And yeah, look forward to talking about the company and the projects.
Great to meet you as well. And since this is your first official debut on our channel, I was hoping you could give us a little background on yourself and how you got involved in the company as well.
Absolutely. And T2 Metals is the company we're talking about today, which is a TSX listed company, TWO on the TSX. So nice, easy one to remember. I've been involved with T2 Metals since I think it was 2021, so the middle of COVID, and it was a shell company that came from the back office I work with in Vancouver. And it had a very long history as under previous names, got very heavily rolled back with myself and some friends put money in and restructured it. And we're looking for the right assets, I guess, from 2021. The start, obviously, it was the middle of COVID. It was a little bit tricky to get out and look at projects. But by 2022, 2023, we were starting to make some excellent acquisitions. And we've ramped up that through to 2025 when we've added in some projects in the Yukon. So really well structured company. I'm the major shareholder. Great people around us, and yeah, a company that's really going places, I think.
Yeah, awesome to hear. And I want to dive into a little bit more about T2 Metals as a company. So could you
Mm,
tell me a little bit more about your properties and projects and what are the regions that you're kind of exploring in and what make them
mm.
significant and stand out to you?
Sure, absolutely. And we're a very strong exploration group, I guess, is the we're founded in sort of good exploration principles, and all of us involved have very long careers. Myself, I come out of a career with a major where I sort of cut my teeth and learned how to work, and then transitioned to junior mining. So been through sort of this company building and project building quite a few times. When we sort of came up with the vision for T2 Metals, we wanted to focus on the Americas, and particularly copper, gold, silver in the Americas was the focus. And obviously we're not Robinson Crusoe in that focus. There's many companies doing that, but it's proven to be a really sort of very, very positive place to be in the current marketplace. Obviously, yeah, metals are running strongly, a real focus on near-term production and security, and so we're well positioned there. Our flagship assets are in Manitoba and in the Yukon, and we have a really good balance of assets between the two, with a few other assets in the US that are not receiving quite as much investment at the moment, and that's really because we've got great assets in Canada. In Manitoba, we have a high-grade copper VMS system, which is a former mining project, which is called Sheridan. When we look at the Yukon, it's a little different. It's an early stage, undrilled, but really highly prospective greenfields project that sits in the middle of one of the districts that's really moving quickly in the Yukon and has excellent discovery potential in the coming year.
Awesome. And touching on your flagship project a little bit, the
Mm,
other day you had a news release come out where you announced MRE, which is a mineral
mm.
resource estimate for people who might not know. So can you tell the viewers the significance of this MRE and what this could mean for your exploration strategy moving forward at that project?
Absolutely. So Sheridan is the project we're talking about with the mineral resource estimate coming out, and it's a really major project. It's had two significant old mines. So total historic production is about 8 million tons at 3% copper. So yeah, excellent grades. The project was explored a little by Hud Bay, a little by a company called Halo, and yeah, a lot more back in the day as well. The project's had about 650 odd drill holes into it already, and so the project is really ready for this resource calculation. It's got historical resources calculated from 2010, but obviously metal prices are very different, which gives us a very different view on the project now from what it was in 2010. So I can't think of the numbers off the top of my head, but I'd say sort of three times, four times higher metal prices today than what it was when the resource was calculated last time. So yeah, we've got five historical resources. Four of those have enough sort of modern, up-to-date information on them to be able to calculate new resources, and so we're pushing those four through ahead to new mineral resource estimates. The really kind of exciting thing about that region, and Manitoba's just had sort of Saskatchewan just across the border. Foran Mining has just been taken over for $3.5 billion with a very similar style of deposit as what we have at Sheridan. But the really sort of unique thing that we have at Sheridan is there's a railway line that runs through the project, and we can share some photos in the later chat. But we see the railway line owned by First Nations. It operates. It takes road building materials, it takes timber, it takes people almost every day through the project. So
Yeah.
that gives us a real unique opportunity in this rising copper market to be able to have something that can go really quickly by not needing to do a full mine construction, but do mining on site and put ore onto the train line is a real opportunity we're looking at.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. And I'd like to shift a little bit and just kind of get some insight for any future potential investors who might be watching right now. So my big question to you is really like, why T2 Metals? What makes you stand
Mm.
out right now against other exploration companies?
Yeah, sure. And I guess yeah, we're a genuine exploration company. Like we've had out of our group in Vancouver, we've had some great successes. We've raised money over 25 years. We've kept a number of companies focused on some excellent projects. T2 is named after my former company, which it wasn't called T1, it was called Tasman Metals, which was very successful. We've got a bunch of shareholders that really support us. But I guess looking forward, and we talked a moment there about our project in Manitoba, but as we look ahead, we're focused a little bit more on the Yukon and the discovery potential in our project there, and we're really focused on building out projects in the Yukon now. Perhaps the secret weapon that we have in the company is a very well-known prospector named Sean Ryan. And Sean is an advisory board and very close to our team and a very good friend. And Sean is one of the most successful prospectors in Canada. The projects that we have picked up and are looking at in the Yukon are coming from Sean Ryan. Sean has made numerous major discoveries by being an amazingly diligent worker and sampler and runner of big teams. So the projects we've got come from Sean and have really excellent potential. So while Greenfield's project, our Shanghai project, while it's Greenfields, hasn't had a drill hole, Sean has put himself right in the middle of one of the hottest camps in North America for gold and for silver. And so that's our sort of secret sauce that we have in the Yukon is we're not starting at the bottom level. Through Sean's support, we get to come in at a very strong level.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then one of my last questions, kind of wrap up our conversation. You
Mm.
touched a little bit on it, but I'd love if you could give us some insight into what we can expect in the coming like weeks, months, and years for like T2 Metals as a
Yeah,
company.
sure, absolutely. And I guess we're balancing between the two projects in Manitoba and in the Yukon. And so the Yukon is very much discovery focused. It's where we have an early stage project. We're building up our project pipeline there, but we have an undrilled project. So we're going to see additional surface sampling, some geophysical work, and then move into drilling in the Yukon, which is yeah, where we all get tested by the drill bit. But the project has very high grade gold in surface soil samples, and so we know the gold is there somewhere. The job now is to find where that gold is coming from in the soils. In Manitoba, we're looking, we'll get through our resource statement, which yeah, we're very confident is a very interesting number, and that will then take us into a PEA, a partnership, or and see how we progress. But yeah, our real focus certainly coming into the Canadian summer will be the Yukon with yeah, pushing through into that really exciting district.
Mhm. Yeah, sounds like a lot of great things coming up in 2026 for the company. And what a great way to end off this interview. But I just really want to thank you, Mark, for taking the time out of your day to join us for this wonderful and insightful conversation and introduction to T2 Metals. I'm sure I've learned a lot as well as our viewers have. And I'm excited to keep up with the company in the coming months and hopefully wish you and your team continued success as well.
Thanks, Marley. Great to meet you. Thanks for the
Thank
time.
you.
Cheers.